face. Anyway, I'm gonna read what we've been missing. If you are just joining us, welcome. I would make it first person, but then I would stand up because that's how it works. I don't think anyone's behind me though, so I technically could stand up. I wonder. Okay, hold on. We're gonna go first person. See what that does. I'm gonna be standing, but at least you won't see me. Just no one sit behind me. All right, there we go. All right, Thank you so much to the aquarium for reaching out to collaborate on this. For everyone who's come to nature art parties in the past, I'm thrilled to see you here. For everyone new, welcome, and I hope you have fun. Here's how it works. We'll be drawing fish that can be featured in the aquarium behind me, while I give IC nature lessons on each type of fish. After each lesson, I'll be taking questions. Feel free to draw fish, take screenshots, role play, or just sit back and relax. This is a no pressure party where we have fun talking about fish. While we've set up loads of aquariums for easy viewing, please be courteous to your fellows and try not to block the tanks too badly. In addition, please dismiss minions, stow weapons, accessories to ensure you don't hit indoor capacity. G-pose and turning off playing visit. Okay. After 20 to 30 minutes, the fish in the aquariums will be swapped. That's what I thought they were gonna do. I'm excited to see how they do that. Each player can win 1 fish and 1 minion as a prize. Ooh! Giveaways hosted every time we swap a fish. The intro I've got, feel free to come and you go as you please. If there's ever questions about the event yourself, feel free to ask. And the wonderful fleet of helpers. That said, we are at capacity already. Please be aware that leaving might mean not coming back. I'm so sorry about that. This got crazy. I did it. Yes, thank you for your help. All right, now we're Ardbert. We're in character now. This is Ardbert. I'm going to channel him. All right, everyone here. Thank you. I'm gonna lower the desktop volume just a little bit so the alerts don't get too loud. Let's get started then. Bit of a funny change of pace haunting a place like this. But I can't well drag you to the bottom of the lake to look for a few fish. The things wouldn't much want to see you anyway. Don't mind me while I drastically change size. It's fine. This is normal. But yes, hello, for those who are just joining us, my name is Fox. I do variety streaming, but I'm also a zoologist in real life. So I've come to a lot of these nature parties to give kind of a zoologist perspective. That being said, I am not an aquarist. I don't know a lot about fish. So if you have questions, feel free to ask Ardbert/Teakbird in game, or if you want to ask them in chat, I am happy to ask them for Ardbert for you. But yes, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But I'm mostly going to be a voice for Ardbert and a vision for people that aren't able to make it physically there. Welcome to Fish Fest 2024. Okay. Stranger yet, seeing them behind glass. Saw the most of them in markets way back when, or on my line if I was lucky. The smaller ones anyway. Takes a special sort to catch some of the monsters living in the waters back home. They're sturdy things, I'll give them that. Stubborn, invisible things, fish, the backbone of whole civilizations, and you never know they're there. But yeah, feel free to vibe, ask questions to me, or to say that, ask of Ardbert. If you doodle, make sure to use the hashtag NatureArtFest and FishFest. We may be going back and forth. Hi, thank you! We may be going back and forth to doodles and coloring that I've done. If you look in the top corner of the chat, you will see the link to the website where you can get coloring pages. So even if you feel like you can't doodle, you can always color. So it's all available for you there. But yeah, it's very low-key, very chill stream, so don't expect much action. I'm just gonna be reading what Ardbert says and then offering what commentary I can. I'm just glad I'm not in anybody's way. Because last time I tried to do this when I went to the East Brit performance, and you stand up when you go in first person. I'm like, I can't be in front of people's ways. Ah, well, time to ruin that for them. Let's get going. Not the danger bongos. Again, Teakbird is the one that does all the script writing for this and creates these. What's really cool is it looks like the person on the right is one of the free company members, and so they're going to be placing in the aquarium the fish that Aardbird's going to be talking about, which is a super cute way to do this, so I'm excited. Ooh! Oh, it's my favorite fish! I colored him earlier. Because what's going to happen is they're going to talk about them and answer questions, and then people are going to be drawing them. Oh, it's all 4 of them. Okay. And then you get a chance to color or do stuff if you want. I colored this one earlier so I can show you what I did. Also, let me know how the sound levels are, like if I'm too loud or if the alerts or anything are too loud. Look at all them there fishes. So I'll go ahead and warn you, I'm gonna butcher how pronunciations of things, especially Final Fantasy XIV, because I haven't heard some of them said out loud. So I apologize. Yes, that is Aquamaton. Aquamaton? Aquamaton? The best fish, also known as the best fish. This one was introduced in Walker. Aardbert will be sharing more information about the fish that are displayed. So I look to them for information about Final Fantasy XIV fish. I know about IRL fish. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. Did anybody go to any other fish activities? I had a lot of fun on the fish train. That was actually my first fish train I'd ever been to. And I caught my first big fish. I'm an actual fisher now. I got Fingo! I was so excited. The last, because I only did it from like 3 to 5. So the last fishing hole we were at, I was able to get Fingo. Ugh, I was so excited. Only to find out that I already had the prize that they were offering. But they gave me a fish pancake as a consolation prize. I was like, I already have one, you can take it back. It was the fun of fishing that, you know, that was, maybe the real fish was the fish we fished along the fish. Oh, I get it. Well, I will say the Trials of the Big One were super fun. If you missed it, I've been streaming since it started at 12 p.m. and you can see me absolutely blank on figuring out where the answers to so many of the puzzles. I knew the first 2 were easy. The second 2, I was very dumb. You can see the wheels turning in my brain real time. Jazzy. Yes, I will have the VOD up, and I will be splitting the VOD up and posting it on my YouTube later. But yes, as soon as the stream is over, because I've been streaming for 8 hours, as soon as the stream is over, I will have it up on my VOD channel. Oh, there's a second location. Ooh. They're still getting things ready, so if you have questions for me, feel free to ask. What was your favorite part of Fish Fest? Mine, like I said, I think was the fish train. The boat, I went to one of the ocean fishing, and the boat was really good. Hopefully someone will send me a towel if I'm in the way, but please don't stand behind me. I hear a lot of movement. Am I in someone's way? Yeah, please, please don't stand behind me. Send me a tell if I'm in the way. Anyone have a favorite fish? Oh, thank you. I'm assuming that you are in the chat. Thank you for making sure I'm not in the way. Thank you, thank you. Of course, that's why I'm here. As an environmentalist and a zoologist, it's my duty. And an artist, technically. Yeah, again, if you have not been to one of Teakbird's wonderful nature art parties, what we typically do is we typically go to an area of the map, and Artbird takes us around on basically a tour. So we go and we interact with different critters that are in that area. Artbird gives us the information about them via what they know in the game, and then also some really fun facts about their adaptations. And then I, a lot of times, will give sort of a, you know, this is probably the real life animal that it's related to, and the real life adaptations, and really cool, like abilities abilities is the wrong word, but some unique characteristics of those critters, and what they're probably inspired, probably inspired the creators to make them. Yay, adjustments. Yeah. So, that's what we're doing. Okay, minion mount activities will be done outside at the very end of the party. So what they were saying before, if you're just joining us, is that after each fish is displayed, there will be giveaways that you can enter, I'm assuming via the chat, maybe with the roll system, and you can get minions or mounts. Someday we'll have outdoor aquariums. Someday. How cool would that be? Just have like a, you know, the next design contest that they do, they need to make a gazebo that's just an aquarium, and you could put like four or five fish in it. That'd be really cool. It probably wouldn't be hard to do. You just make an indoor furnishing and outdoor furnishing. That's the ocean. I mean, they are not wrong that an outdoor aquarium is the ocean. Oh gosh. So I love the, what's it called? It's a blue dragon. It's one of the mounts in the game, which is based on an actual sea slug that I believe is called a dragon. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a pretty blue sea slug that's a mount that looks kind of dragony-esque, but that's based on a real critter, and it just basically is 1-for-1. So that's a weird one. There is the funnel shark is just a 1-for-1. That's a real critter. There is a fish. Have you ever heard of a goblin shark? If you have not heard of a goblin shark, many of the fish that have that extended jaw remind me a lot of a goblin shark. Goblin sharks are super cool. They have a long jaw, but then they have a secondary pair of jaws that are inside their mouth that is on a retractable hinge, and so they can basically just extend out the jaw and grab, and then they have really flexible skin that's around their mouth that look up goblin shark. It's so cool. Yeah, they're really terrifying, but many of the fish that you can catch in game remind me of the goblin shark, like the ones with the really long mouths. No, I'm thinking there's a mount that is a sea. It's I have to look it up. It's a sea slug. It's based on a nudibranch, which I love nudibranchs. It's called... It's Gallicus atlanticus, also known as a blue sea dragon. Yes, so if you've never seen a nudibranch, the blue sea dragon, it's like a literal mount. Like a mount. I don't know how you get it. I think you have to do something in the last water area of Shadowbringers. I've been playing the game for 8 years. Whatever. I know what things are called. But yeah, it's one of the last areas in there. Oh, but I think you get it from doing a quest or a series of quests there. It's called a blue sea dragon. If you are inside, please put away your minions and weapons. You do not need them. I'm pretty sure I already dismissed mine. I know, as they should be. It's so weird, because, like, I'm way up here, so normally with this amount of people, I should be hearing, like, all the chatter and stuff, but maybe it's because I'm elevated that I don't hear it. Can you guys see the script okay? Like, what's being said on the left corner? Because I can try and make that bigger. I just want to make sure. Looks good? Okay. I just want to make sure. And thank you so much for sitting in. I'm glad that I could provide a viewpoint and hopefully a fun perspective and dramatic voiceover. Okay, on mobile too? Nice. I'm glad. I had a lot of fun today too. Let's see. Other fish that are like real fish. If you've ever seen, they're called pipefish. They actually swim horizontal. Oh no, they swim vertically instead of horizontally. Those are fun. I think that's what they're called. Maybe not. There's a fish. I think it is those fish. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, there's a second location set up. Back to schedule. Thanks for waiting. I'm glad they got a second location. I wonder where they put it. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna... I wonder if they're basically just gonna mirror what's going on. That's very cool. Man, these fishers, they're on another level, you know? Fruity and the gang. Alright, here we go. Alright, I know they're not really fish, but I can't rightly talk about what lives in the ocean without these odd metal fellows coming up. Might as well get it out of the way early and move on to the proper beasts after this one. This is Automaton. I'm going to be dramatically reading in character, so be prepared. I'm a voice actor on the side, so I can do actually any accent, so if you want at any point for me to change up how Artbird is speaking, feel free to ask. Well, not any accent. I can do a lot of accents, but... Funny things, Automaton. They're not alive, that's clear enough. Those orange eyes and tarnished copper bodies label them a dwarf creation. Never saw much of them in my time, beyond a few prototypes. Toys, mostly. Didn't do much more than paddle about in the shallows, but the dwarves would bring them to brewing festivals for the younger lot. I want that as a pet. Oh, it's at the Conservancy House. Awesome! Oh, on Coral, wow. I love the Conservation House. If you've not visited the Conservation House, they are wonderful. I did a tour with them. It's very cool. Doesn't take much more than little metal fish to keep island kids entertained. Ah, but that's really all they were back then. Funny little things without much more use than keeping a few kids busy while their parents get to drink themselves sick on ale. I mean, I would be easily entertained by this thing. I am currently easily entertained. Well, we're all in Nordavent. Fishy, as a fruity. We're all in Nordavent tonight, so no pirate accents. The flood changed all that. Trade dried up. Oh, here's my first word I'm going to mispronounce. Suddenly, the Gulgent weren't delivering any of the materials they'd gather on their voyages to sea, and the destruction of Nabath Arang left them without any other source of pure sand or borax, so forging glass was off the table. Wasn't much likely they'd be seeking out new trade routes either, with the elders getting more isolationist by the day. I gave a warning at the top of this that I do not know how to pronounce a lot of these things. I apologize. I'm also dyslexic, so if I mix words around, I apologize for that too. So they turned back to these little toys they'd made before it all went end up. Made them bigger, loads bigger. These ones are about as small as they get, but the big ones are near 3 yalms in length. Strengthened the hulls too, and added a hinge to the mouth leading to a sort of storage canister. Then they'd fit the things with tiny little Talos hearts and send them in the ocean to do digging for them. That's fine. It's like a mining submarine. This one is not based on a real-life fish, if you could guess. Or if it is, I'd say like an anglerfish, I guess? It's anglerfish-esque, because it's got the little light on the top of its head. I just love how it wiggles. Oh gosh, that was a long one. It's a sound idea. They've got this ballast tank lining the inner walls that lets them float and sink. A magnet and a lamp attached to the funny lure. It can control themselves in calm water well enough with those water wheels. Helpless little things if you put them in water choppier than a bathtub, but well, still Tood got its name for a reason, eh? The flood saw to that. Like synchronized wiggling. Hey! They just came over from the, how was the Eastbird performance? I wasn't able to stay till the end. Problem is, the dwarves didn't account for the poisoning effects of the light. It's all well and good to make a robotic fish that mines for you, but the things are bathed in refracted light the instant they hit the water. And just like the Talos, or the Guardians of Ronka, the things went half mad. Uh-oh. Cyborg uprising. At least they're slow. Thanks for stopping by. Don't see much of them these days. The dwarves gave up on the whole ordeal pretty fast once they stopped coming back. But if you've got a curious mind, there's one way to find them. See, they're not well equipped for rough waters, I've said as much. Gets rough for the poor fellows when the wind picks up suddenly on clear days. I'm just imagining, like, a sudden breeze and they all just kind of topple over. Just stack them up like dominoes and they just... As a reminder, once Artbird is done giving all the information... Oh, here we go. That's when the octopus came out. Curious little devils and playful as a child. It's nice when you can catch them all. These clever little beasts playing with helpless aquamaton like they're an island child would. Anyway, any questions?
I have a question.
That's what I'll do. I'll do the questions and...
You implied they were meant to return on their own. How were they intended to detect when to return for material retrieval? Do they have a weight capacity and use a scale?
That's my nerd voice. Again, if you have any questions in the chat and you are not physically there to ask them, feel free to send them here and I can type them in chat for Ardbert to answer, hopefully, but I don't know how many questions they're gonna get, so. You know them? Well, they're fish, so they'd have scales already. Fun. Let me know if I'm getting annoying with my voices. It just kind of comes naturally. The annoying part, that is. Fish buns. Hey. Hey. How many A's we gonna get? I think 5. We got 2 so far. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. No more A's. Oh, I lose the bet. Yeah, I wonder if they were like programmed in order to come back. Like I said, I can't really give any commentary about like actual fish that this is based on because this is obviously not based on an actual fish. Oh, that was fast. Okay. They've got weight scales. As was mentioned, too much weight and they won't be able to return to the surface at all, so it's pretty important that they can tell when they need to head back. Here, boy. Here, fishy. Here, robo-fishy. You play Hatsune Miku and then they come. They're like, the song of my people.
3 yalms is large for a dwarf. Could the Akamaton be redesigned to have some separate compartments for manual control and material storage, or would water pressure present an issue?
I'm glad that I chose this voice. It seems fitting. Oh yeah, no worries. I got in early. I didn't go to the Esprit performance, so I was here. Like I said, any questions in the chat that you want me to put in the actual one, I will. Well, they have to be. You know, I was coloring because there are coloring pages that they have available right now, and I was coloring this one before. And I was thinking, like, you know, like it goes underwater, but it probably still rusts after a time, even though it's meant to be in the water. So. Let me see if I can pull it up really quickly. I'm gonna become very small for a second. There was my coloring of it a little bit earlier. But yeah, I wanted to give it some kind of like metallic-y hint, but yeah. And now no longer tiny. Oh, thank you. Again, I didn't draw the art. The art was actually done by one of the wonderful people over within the fish cord and the community, but I colored it. I like to color. Oh, Artbert's cooking. Let him cook. Like I said, during these times when they're asking questions, if you want to art or color, if you go to the website up at the top, they have coloring pages. It was, if you'd believe it. The big ones weren't unpopular as fairly effective attempts at underwater travel. They're not well enough sealed, and those attempts stopped fast, but you can't blame them for trying, I suppose. So they tried to use them as submarines, and it didn't work out. Because 3 yalms... What is that in, like, actual distance? Is that, like, 15 feet? I don't know how much a yalm is. I play a range, so distance doesn't exist. I go as far as I want. Oh, yalms is yards? Okay. So that's like, say, 7-ish feet.
In that case, theoretically, could the remaining population of Aquamaton be retrieved and retrofitted for remote control operation?
Now, Nito. I know other people are probably like, I shouldn't ask questions. Ask questions, it's fine. Ardbird can handle multiple questions. Oh, I see. Thank you. Moose Mum, thank you. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. Oh, I was just given a message from Fruity a while ago. I apologize. They said, yeah, if you go to the Ocean Conservation House at Ward 20, Plot 22 of the Goblet on Coral, they have the script going. And then you can watch the stream, and the script will be provided afterwards. So, if you would like the analogous location, that one is over at the Ocean Conservation House. Ward 20, Plot 22, in the Goblet on Coral. Oh, Coral. I never know how to pronounce it. It's a cat. It's a cat critter with long whiskers. Who are... I suppose they could be, but I wouldn't recommend it. They're not powerful enough. Perfectly built for still, tide-robbed waters, but hardly for anything else. Also, they're helpless, harmless, and a bit silly, aren't they? Still, the concept could work if you really want to try. I want to give one to my husband. Just gonna dramatically read everyone's responses. It would be really cute. Like I said, I would be highly entertained if I received one of these.
Interesting,
says Nito. Oh, Nitio?
Do the hearts on the Aquamatons last indefinitely?
I don't think so. Though the fact that they persist despite the effects of light is interesting. And the flood. I guess because they... Well, because we had the whole story... With spoilers. We had the whole story quest where we basically had to, like, restart the heart of that big golem thing, right? So eventually they would die or stop working, right? It's... Shadowbringers was a long time ago. What's that? 4 years now? I don't... What is time? I'm excited for Dawn Trail. Think of all the fish. Lots of cool tropical fish. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I think they would eventually need some kind of aether to keep running. Unless they have some sort of perpetual energy machine, or that'd be cool if you had like a solar powered, but it's like a light powered. I mean, if they were solar powered, they would run forever because there is no night in those areas during the flood or after the flood, so technically. But they live in the water. I am so sad. I mean, I know that we couldn't have actually called it a succubambospis, but I really wish that we could have called it. I mean, all right is fine, but I wish it had been something slightly different. I watched Fruity's reaction because, you know, he was there. All right. They do, so much as any Talos heart does. It's the same size, but a bit smaller. They're a bit messed up from the light, but you can fix them up in some work, from what I've seen. Oh, one final question. Oh, do they rust? That was my question as well. I colored it rusted on my picture, but perhaps they don't. I would assume because submarines rust and boats rust, like ships, it just takes a really long time. So I would think, and especially saltwater, nothing is really saltwater completely proof. You know, like you see Titanic and things that have sunk underwater. Oh, maybe. But I mean, does that affect the water though? See, I didn't know that they were green. I thought it was because of how the light looked. Oh, you mean stagnation as in like nothing actually ages? Well, I guess if time is stopped for them. But it doesn't stop for things that are, well, it's not alive. I was trying to think, I was like, trying to science it out. It's finally, someone asked it. There's a running joke within the Nature Art Party that someone always asks, can you eat the thing that we're watching? And I always like Ardbert's answer. They don't rust. Things are made from copper. Turns that pretty sort of teal after long enough, but it's about as waterproof as metal can get. Can you? Yes, try it. He's done. He's like, go ahead, eat it. The thing is, you can eat anything once. Will you live? I don't know. There's apparently a guy that ate an airplane, so probably. You just gotta eat it in small amounts. I like that there's so many questions. Sometimes we don't get questions in the art parties, so it's nice that they're asking, like, good questions. Hello, welcome! It is much smaller than an airplane, you're right. And it's got salt on it, so it's probably flavored. Got a nice, fishy taste, seaweed taste. Magic rust, yes. It would be probably bad for your teeth. But if you melted it down and made it into like a really, really fine, or like made it into a fine powder, and then you sprinkled the powder over things, therefore you're eating it still, but you're not eating the metal. Ocean pennies. Verdigris. Alright, about time we get moving to something with a little more being alive. But before all that, one of those poor guys wasn't well getting along with the rest. Don't suppose one of you lot would take it off our hands. The first giveaway prize, 3 of them! Oh my gosh. Go, /random. 3 highest numbers. Ooh, 885. Do I do it? Do I roll? I don't know. Do I go for it? This is my favorite fish. I might go for it. Oh, that's a low number. That's the low number. I'm sad. No fish for me. There's a 902. I'm sad. I do not get fish. The fish evades me once again. I was on the train earlier today and I missed 2 of the big fishes. I was so close, but I didn't get them. But I did get Fingo, so that's what counts. 992. Hard to beat that one. Will the winners please let us know how eating them goes? 950. Nice. I would like to know what cooking methods you use to eat them. Like I said, if you make them into like a fine ground powder and then just sprinkle them on things, you're technically eating them without having to eat metal. It reminds me of, I don't know if there are any game theory watchers in the chat, but MatPat you know, he has his food theory channel, and he did a whole series of videos about eating his Christmas tree. And like just taking the different parts of the Christmas tree. Reminds me of that. I mean, with enough butter, they make a good point. We're done accepting roles. Take a moment to determine the winner. Oh, you do? See, I don't understand intuition because I have none. I was ocean fishing earlier today with the group on a point boat, and I've never been on a point boat before. So I was just like, oh gosh, these numbers. But I got intuition twice for the toad thing, and I switched to the right buggy, but he got away both times. I'm like, I don't understand what you want from me. I get it all the time, and I don't really know how to determine. I just need a guide of like, okay, if this message pops up, switch to this bait. I don't know. How do people figure this out? Oh, see, people, you can use it as a zest. See, that's what I was saying. Make it a fine grain powder, that's fine. Yay! Oh, I thought we were gonna do it afterwards. Congratulations to the winners. All right, so, Carbuncle Blushy's great. Yeah, I was looking at the tracker, you know, because I've never done a fish train, so I was looking at the tracker while I was on there, and it's like, oh, that was very nice. Carbuncle Plushie was at the Eastbrit performance. I was watching the streamer, because I was here getting ready for this, so I was watching the streamer that did it. And Carbuncle Plushie was in there. It was wonderful. If you caught it on the previous streams, very good. My favorite was probably, I'm a Genshin player, so my favorite was the Farina one. That was really good. Farina's song. All right, now they're going to switch out the fishies. So if you were doodling the fish, pencils down. Time for fish number 2. Ooh, it's my boy. I love this boy. He's like straight up just an ancient fish. Like this one is just a fish, like an actual fish from prehistoric times. What's his name? Not Deinosuchus. Ancient fish. Big jaw. There it is. Dunkleotis? Dunkleotis. Yes. Dunkleostis? Dunkleostis? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah. Look at him! A good boy. A chunky lad. Someone's like, I may not be able to draw a fish, but I can add a laptop and Photoshop with some Google Docs on the screen. Again, if you don't feel like you can draw, you can very easily go to the Eorzean fish website and download their coloring pages. He's not among them, I don't think, but there are other ones that are. Now here's a change of pace. Can't get much more alive than these ancient devils. This brute's a vice jaw, and not a soul I've ever met likes them. I like them, as long as they don't bite me. Someone said, you could say it's pretty jaw-dropping. I don't have a laugh track soundbite. Yes, Dunkleostis. That's what I was trying to say before. Dunkleostis? Yeah, Dunkleostis? Dunkleostis? Stesis? It's a reputation they've well earned, I'd say. Gentle hearts aren't their strong suit. Stubborn, hot-headed beasts with a penchant for claiming swaths of water for themselves and tearing apart anything that dares swim through it. I want to pet it. If you pet it on the back, it can't reach you. It's fine. Thank you, everybody who's lurking and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Hopefully my insight is entertaining, if nothing else. They're darn good at it, too. Makes enough sense. The thing's half skull, and all that skull is designed to do is bite. See, they've got that funny lower jaw with the two toothy prongs. The rest of that jaw is a sheer blade, kept knife sharp by grinding it on that mean row of blades and teeth on their upper jaw. Thank you. It reminds me of a hippo. Hippos do that. When hippos close their mouth, the upper and lower tusks rub against each other and it helps grind it down because their tusks are different from teeth and they continuously grow. So they could get too big. But that's just the cutlery. The real weapon is how the jaw functions. Can't well show it off without catching one of these things unless you feel like losing an arm in the open water. But they got this funny hinge that lets them open their jaws wide enough to take a bite out of darn near anything that enters their waters. And they can do it so wickedly fast, it pulls water and any poor beast in front of it right into their mouths. Yes, hippostentists say do grind your teeth. Most, like, lagomorphs and other rodents, they also have incisors. Like, tusks aren't incisors, but they are a modified tooth. But they constantly are growing all the time, and so a lot of times they have to chew or grind on other things to help keep it down. Hello, welcome, Craft Lord 26. I like your raccoon. Then that hinge swings shut, and all the force behind it ends up with these two bottom jaw points. Does the source have mallows? These funny, spongy sugar things. Oh, does the source have mallows? Oh, these funny, spongy sugar things. Well, anyway, the point of it all is, they're about as soft as anything. That's about how it feels for a vice jaw to bite through bone. Mallows, like marshmallows. Squishy mallow bones. Again, if you decide to doodle these critters, if you use the hashtag NatureArtFest or hashtag FishFest, if we have some time, I don't know if we'll have time, I try to go through the tags so that we can see what other people have drawn, so probably at the end of the stream I will. But yeah. Suppose there's some good sides. The most of you lot wouldn't have to worry much about being sliced in two. See, this fellow is a runty little thing, only a baby I'd imagine. A proper adult won't stop growing until they're some 10 yalms long, and a beast that big wouldn't need to bother chewing your average hume. That's a word. Anyway, jesting aside, the folks living around the source in Lakeland have figured out a few ways to work around these big brutes. They're devilishly territorial, aye, but that means they've got territories. And if you leave well enough alone, they're no bother. That's the same with many animals. You leave them alone, they're fine. Helps that the source is such a clear lake. The best way to spot what's not safe waters is to look deep. Vicestraws are a bit of an odd one for a fish. They like to build themselves a nest. Of course, this darn nest, a big nest to a house, takes a darn big nest to house a fish. I was trying to pronounce it house, but it's house, a fish of this size. But the source is filled with these huge purple crystals, not to mention all the sunken ships from unfortunate sullen fishers over the years. I think, unfortunately, big jaw fish, because robot fish, small, go squish. I mean, if you want to make the case that robot fish already win because they can't die, technically, but I don't know if they'd be able to fight very well. When you've got jaws like a vice jaw, a bit of rock or old wood is as malleable as clay. We call them fortresses, the big castles of wreckage they make, lined with crystal spines like turrets. And if you see one, you give that bit of water a wide berth. Best not to test if a vice jaw can bite a boat in half. There are often fish that will make bubble nests. I don't know off the top of my head a fish that will create nests made from scrap parts, but there is a really cute crab that will actually glue things to its back. Hold on, I'll talk about it in a second. Still, you've got to admire the devils, ancient as they come, far as anyone can tell, and if the fossils have got anything to say about them, not a lick different than they used to be. Their lives changed a bit with the flood, aye, but they're stubborn, hardy beasts, and there's something to respect in a beast who'll bite back at the end of the world. There is a crab that I am attempting to remember what it's called. I think it's literally called like a decorator crab. Yeah, it is literally called a decorator crab. And the decorator crabs, they'll take like bits and bobs of things that they find and they'll like stick them to their back and just have the best looking carapace.
They're just like, look, I found this on the beach last week. Oh, did you see Debbie's new hat?
That's what it reminds me of. If they're taking bits and bobs and like making a nest out of it, it reminds me of a decorator crab. Many questions. All right, one of the questions was, I never retrofitted or sharpened those bottom jaws for weapons or tools. How much damage would you expect a critical direct hit bite? Are you sure the source is really a lake? If they can bite through just about anything, how does one go about catching them? You gotta have the right bait. I was gonna say, yeah, metal wouldn't pose any kind of threat. How long does a vice jaw live? I know bigger fish tend to have longer lifespans, and these things are huge. You know, when it comes to fish, like, have you guys, you probably heard of the coelacanth, right? The coelacanth, also an ancient fish, thought to be extinct, and found to be alive still, and not changed at all. It always amazes me how long their lifespans really can be. and how much fish don't change. Fish are like, I have the perfect body type and adaptations. I don't need to change. Like sharks. Sharks haven't changed like at all except in size in millions of years. Sharks were like, this is the perfect body plan. I'm gonna stick with it. Coelacanths? No, they found, it was a while ago, I thought. Coelacanths. Not extinction. I looked it up and it says extinction status, not extinct. Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. Anyway, the jaws are popular choices for blades. You see the things all over Sullen, dating back some number of generations. Some of the oldest artifacts left, really. And they're made just the same way these days. Oh, nice! Yeah, I was gonna say, they're not extinct. They thought they were, but they aren't. That's so funny. Not extinction status. Not extinct. The bites don't really do damage so much as kill immediately if you're lucky. If not, I don't know. How much damage is losing a limb? Fairly significant, I'd say. That was just funny. Somebody needs to clip that. What else was it? Oh yeah, coelacanth. Like, what's the saying that like everything will eventually become a crab? I think there's some kind of evolutionary saying that's like everything either is a crab or will become a crab. Everything, yes. Eventually everything will become a crab. Because it's like the ideal body plan. Is the source a... Yes. It's called one, isn't it? Well, it might be more of an inland sea, but oh well. It's easier to compare that when there are more bodies of water left. That was the response to the Sorsa Lake. He's like, I don't know, I just live here. What do you want from me? I'm a ghost. Spoilers for Shadowbringers, I guess. I'm sorry. Carcinization? Because cancer? Crab? Yes, yeah. Cancer, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, I know there's a saying, but I don't remember what it's called. Just fun little evolutionary biology things. For those who don't know, I'm a zoologist in real life. I'm not an aquarist though, so I don't know a lot about fish, but I know a lot about other things. Thank you, non-binary Nyan. Nyan binary. And again, if you have any questions at all that you would like me, if you have any other questions that you would like to ask Ardbert, because you are not able to physically attend, feel free to ask here, and then I can attempt to ask in the chat in game. So feel free, or you can ask, and I can do my best to answer. But Ardbert's the one with all the information and the script. They're the ones that write all of these, and I am merely an observer, a science observer, who loves learning and educating. The secret to catching these things is catching a different fish first, tends to be mooch, or at least trying to. Use some bait that'll attract something else, and using lines that don't break. Spider threads wound together do the trick. Used to be able to get the things in Ilmeg before that trade dried up. Hi, Chew. Those spider web and spider silk is actually really strong comparatively, just because of how the fibers are made. Believe it or not, a lot of spider web or spider silk basically can be used to treat burn patients because it's like a breathable, really antifungal, antimicrobial mesh, and so it's very breathable too, so whereas normal wrappings wouldn't be good for burns. Not the spiders who take the silk. Just imagine you go to a hospital and they're like, I'm wounded, have some spiders. Spiders. Please, spiders. Oh, did they? Yeah, I was doing the ocean fishing earlier, and there is definitely a spider crab that does not count as a crab. And I'm like, but that's a crab. Why doesn't, because I had catch 13 crabs as one of my goals or voyage goals. It's like, this is a crab. It's a crab. Why you not count? It's amazing what counts as a crab versus a squid versus whatever else they want to call it. Or like when pterodactyls are fish. Like, that's not a fish. Is the bucket considered a fish? Oh, I see. What are jade shrimp then? Are they mollusks? Oh, I thought it was a mantis shrimp, which are really cool. They have the most, so mantis shrimp are super neat. They have the highest visibility spectrum of any creature. I forgot how many rods they have in their eyes. They have like 15 different color rods. Like, how we have like RGB? They have 15 different color spectrum. Like, they can see like so many colors. Yeah, it's so cool. The things live near forever. 80 years more. It takes them forever to grow and longer to die. Means you don't see tons of them, but you can chart your life by them. Reliable things. Why though? A lot of it they think has to do with how they communicate with each other. I believe that they have, please fact check me on this, but I think that they can luminesce. And so I think they're able to see those spectrums so that they can detect either they see things that luminesce, and so they need the ability to see those spectrums so that they can find them, and or they communicate using them. That's why a lot of things are able to see in different spectrums. Like birds can see in ultraviolet. A lot of insects can see in ultraviolet. There's a butterfly that can actually see different patterns depending on the subspecies that they are, because they have different like color wavelengths to tell different species of other butterfly. Yes, bees can, yes. Scorpions, because they actually are fluoresce. So if you were to shine like a black light, something about the keratin that's in their exoskeleton causes them to glow green. And then a lot of fish bioluminesce, so that's a lot of times how they communicate with one another. Oh, fisherman's best friend, okay. Isn't it like just the circle? Isn't the magic bucket like the circle? Okay, enough of this brute. Best to put him back in his nest where he belongs. We're moving on to more pleasant company next, but listen. This is less for the sake of the fish and the staff here. Can someone take one of these runty fellows off our hands before they take off actual hands? Okay, Vice Jaw, get in the chat, roll. I'm not gonna roll on this one. He's cute, but I don't have room. Ha, take off my hands. Well, we got a 990, gonna be hard to beat that. Everybody good? Water break, stretch break? We've been streaming for about an hour? Yeah, we've been streaming for about an hour. Get that water. Not as many people want this one as the Akamaton. It's fair, it's fair. Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry, I hope that I didn't mean to offend. It just seemed fitting. The voice seemed fitting for the character. Okay, I'm glad. I was just like, actually. Thank you for stopping by. Are you still there, or did you head out? Wormlord? Wow, Wormlord is in the chat. Not this chat, but that chat. Oh, awesome. I mean, true. Fair. It might eat you. Fact. Sometimes I really like the names that people make, because some people will make them like just to be able to come on here, like if they're an alt. Wormlord. I did see Fruity's retainer outside of the house. You mean the one dressed in yellow? Or was there a different one? Halicarnassus is such a cool name. I am Tiny Baby Famfrit player. Shout out to Famfrit. Primal represent. All the cool stuff happens on Crystal though. Oh, nice! Yay, Famfrit friends! We're just kind of there. You know, Crystal's got all the RP servers and what's the other one? I don't know, I forgot the other one. Dynamis has all the new people. And we're just kind of, we're not good at raiding and we're not good at RPing. We're just kind of there. Primal. That's okay. Oh, it's selling the Memora for 10 million. I mean, fair. He is all hail the Memora Mora. We got PvP sometimes. Yeah, we do. We do got PvP. We got lots of trap party finders. That's what we're good for. We're really good at trap parties. I don't know what it is about Endwalker EXs, but they've been so bad. You know, I farmed through Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Heaven's Word. I farmed all the X's, and the parties were great, but I haven't farmed for any of these cat mounts because every farm party is just a trap party. Oh man. Nya Tia, congratulations on winning the boy. Clap, 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 clap. Anybody that wants to farm EXs before Dawn Trail comes, hit me up. I have none of the cats because I haven't tried to farm any of them. I haven't even cleared purple spoiler dude. I cleared the last one, but I didn't clear the one before that because I just ran out of time and no one was clearing it after that. I've heard that Famfrit also has really good Baldesion Annex, like Eureka stuff. Look at Oleozaz? Who's that? Oh. Oh, really nice. Oh, the fish giver. I don't want to mess anything up. Oh, these ones are pretty. Are there always two of them? Triangle friends. You mean the big tall one? He's cool. I like him. The Aura guy. They're so pretty. I don't know what these fish are called. They're kind of see-through. They remind me, there's a frog that's called a glass frog. If you're okay with organs, look them up. If you're not okay with organs, don't look them up. Because you basically can see their entire insides. They're so weird. There's a more charming face. This delightful little friend is a sin spitter, which is a poor choice of name for a fellow this pretty. But you can't blame the folks at the Crystarium for this one, and the first inexorable sense of humor. They're cute. They sparkle. I'm sad to say that I have entered Eureka. I took a look, and then I ran away. I did Bastia. That was my first Eureka-like experience. I was like, this isn't Bastia. I don't understand. I need someone to just carry me. My friends were going to, and then they stopped playing. You can likely imagine the trouble the poor thing got into dwelling in the waters around the Crystarium. They're fine little fish, lived in these waters long before the Crystal Tower showed up, and never did anyone any harm. Until the Fire Nation attacked. They're just little guys. Did they always come in pairs? Or did they put pairs in there? Maybe they put pairs in there. Oh yeah, I max leveled Bosja and got a majority of the weapons, not all of them. But I did the Baldesion, no, the Arsenal, whatever the final one. I want that stupid raptor mount. Didn't stop scared people from killing the things on sight until it was proven well and truly that they're just unfortunately colored animals. They've got an old elvish name, the Sin Spitters, and their sin-steeped cousins, but, well, times change fast. Better to call them what they are now, in a world that knows the light differently. They're cute, though. Yes, that one. Or it's like some kind of raptor. Deinonychus? No, I don't want the triple-headed... The Cerberus thing, I'm fine. I don't want to do Savage. But I want the Deinonychus thing. They're pretty beloved now, really, as far as fish go. They eat up pests that nobody else wants to deal with. All the snails and worms and larvae wiggling in the water. Charming personalities for a fish. Made for life and prone to mourning. A widowed sin spitter isn't likely to ever find a mate again. Aww. They're sad. Sad fish. Maybe they're also in pairs because they're monogamous. You know, it's interesting. Monogamy is an interesting concept when it comes to animals because a lot of it comes from the fact that, like, what's the best way to raise and make sure your offspring are successful? Oh, yeah, no worries. And birds, you'll see it a lot because with birds, because they both can raise and feed the young, males and females will stick around together and help them because it's the highest rate of success that you can have for the little ones. Whereas mammals, because the females are typically the ones that are really only able to give care and give birth, you don't see a lot of monogamy within mammals. Like mating for life, that kind of thing with mammals. Except wolves. And they're gentle little things, poor constitutions, especially the grieving sort. Can't much more than breathe on the things, and they'll wither away with some dire illness or another, so anyone in the interest of keeping them well has got their work cut out for them. And people do, age in and age out, back as long as they've been fish in these waters. I would want one, I would care for him. Sounds like seahorses. Seahorses are really hard to take care of. According to my aquarium friends, because again, I don't work at aquariums, I mostly work at zoos, but I have a lot of Aquarius friends. Seahorses are rough. See, the elves lived there first, long before any Hume or Galgant had so much as made landfall in Nordvent. And they've a storied history with these fish. I suppose they could have eaten the things, but they'd use up more energy deboning and scaling them than you'd get from the 2 bites of meat left behind. Ah, but the scales. Beautiful pearly things, with those lovely shimmering stripes that turn every different sort of color in the light. Iridescence. You can see it on their back fins, especially. Their dorsal and... not pectorals. Their pectorals are the ones by their arms. Ventral? Ventral? Because dorsal's top, ventral's bottom, pectoral's sides. They're like little sails. They remind me of angelfish. Used to see those scales all over in the churches in Lakeland. Old ones, especially where the faith in the first light was born. The elves had this art they'd make sewing these tiny pearly scales onto cloth to make these elaborate tapestries and drapes, shimmering in the light itself. Must have taken a person half their lifetime to make one. I wonder if that's based on something that's actually done. I would not be surprised. Whatchamadoodle, lipstick used to be made with fish scales. or something. Well, that's a big one. Just as much work to keep the fish themselves and keep the population hardy enough that scales can be harvested. But they'll do it aye. Funny little fish, mild-mannered as they get and fragile as a flower. You could go your whole life never seeing one in the wild, but step into any chapel and they're made up the light itself. That would be really cool. Oh, apparently there was a culture. Yeah, apparently there was a group of people in Japan would actually use the skin for kimonos. It's nostalgic in a funny way, that's all. Seeing the people of the Crystarium rename these little fellows in new honors. Tending to their fussy needs, there's not a soul left on the first that covets the color white, and they're useless for meat. But they're alive despite it all, a chip of pearlescent history not yet ready to be forgotten. Oh, interesting. Alright, they're open for questions. Anybody in chat have questions for me to send to Artbert? They're cute. No one has asked to eat them. Well, I mean, obviously you can eat them because they talked about it, but that's, again, a running joke within the Nature Art Party. Is like, can you eat it? How'd the things turn out so bloody fragile? They're shiny little, buggers. Ought to draw attention to themselves. You think they'd have some means of defending their sorry hides? Scales, whatever. I thought that would be best with an accent. Oh, hi, Lalo! Welcome! We're talking about fish today. There's your pirate. Someone asked for... I can do an actual pirate accent. But that was about as close as we're gonna get. True, they are very bony. We're good, yeah. We're at what's called Fish Fest. This is Fish Fest International. We're doing what's called a nature art party, in which we observe beautiful fish and people draw them and we answer questions based. I'm doing it from a zoologist perspective. Sorry about the car in the background. But we're asking aquarist questions, I guess. Ooh. I saw these fish in the Crystarium. They were indigenous to the caverns under the structure, but were they imported for, like, decoration? That's another question. But yeah, we're learning about fish in Final Fantasy XIV. And just so everyone knows, they got started a little later. So it may go past the 11 o'clock time that they initially had said. So thanks for sticking around. I will stick around for the whole thing. But I may need a bio break. After the flood, did people still take to keeping them as pets or the like? I thought they would. Now, I don't know, like I said, I had mentioned originally that they kind of reminded me of this thing called a glass frog. Like I said, if you are okay with seeing organs and stuff, look up glass frog. It's very cool, but very weird. Their skin is just so thin, it's transparent, and so you can actually see, like, all of their innards. But that reminds me of it, like that kind of pearlescent sheer texture. And they, too, are very fragile. But cool. I don't know of any transparent fish off the top of my head. Oh. But are they bred that way? Because tetras, aren't they also the ones that they've bred to glow in the dark? Are they naturally that way or are they bred that way? Okay. Because they're the ones that you can get from the store that, like, glow in ultraviolet. It's not a bad question. That shine is half their defense. They keep in schools, and when anything dangerous shows up, they'll flash side to side and dazzle anything trying to get them. And with a thin body like that, the little fellows can slip into just about any crack they can find, disappear into the crystals and dancing light. There's many fish that rely on that, like whenever they school. It reminds me of Wishy-Washy, the big fish that look like even bigger fish. Pokemon. Yeah, Wishy-Washy. I could go on an entire rant about the really cool comparisons and analogous adaptations of Pokemon and real-life animals. That's my favorite. In fact, I'll probably be doing something like that Tuesday because I have another charity stream I'm doing. So if you want to hear me rant about Pokemon, feel free to come. For Pokemon Day. But yeah, it is really interesting to see because I'm not an expert on fish, but it is really cool to see like how much the devs pull from real life. Alright, they're indigenous and lived in those waters longer than there's been a tower. He said that before. Custarium's a new arrival, all things considered. These fish, not so much. If anything, a city being built on their heads was probably a real bother. They're like, where's our light? I know, it's so cool. And even just recently when they've gotten into convergent evolution with the different regional variants. Who's walking back there? I hear people walking. Bah. I think it's cool that they're able to edit the housing when people are in here. I honestly didn't know that was possible. I don't do a lot of housing. If you were to see my room in my free company, I just take all the free stuff and just shove it in a corner. I'm just like, there, that looks great. But it's neat how they've kind of layered these. It's after the flood that things got such a bad reputation. Not a single soul wanted anything to do with these things looking like that, and not for no reason, when there's evidence enough of sin eaters taking the shapes of fish. But it's those same people that gave them a new name when they all figured it out. Is it possible for people to keep them in small aquariums as pets, or are they best left to skilled pros like the lovely aquarium folks here? And I would assume that they're not solitary. I assume that they like to be at least in pairs. They don't seem, I mean, besides being fragile. Didn't he mention that they were difficult to take care of? Oh, yeah, Chili Farmer, who's another streamer, they might be streaming this as well. I know they streamed earlier today. They do a lot of visiting of housing and things like that, like all across the Final Fantasy XIV community, and I love seeing them showcasing different venues. There was one that they did like a game of life. It was like the game of life board. It was really cool. But yeah, Chili Farmer. They make funny memes. You probably know them from the memes. And small plug, if you like cool events like this, they are doing a recording of a fully scripted and acted out screenplay that they did, and I'm one of the voice actors in it. Woohoo! It's neat because they like have the movie going on in the background, and then the voices go over the action that the actual players are doing on stage. Yeah, it'll be super fun. It's called House of Ice. It should be premiering later this year. Yeah, it's part of a like Final Fantasy theater group that Chili made. It's very neat. Anybody in chat drawing the fishies? I don't have time to draw them. Like I said, I just have the ones that I worked on. I colored a little earlier. If you do... Oh, thank you! Make sure you have my lore accurate hat. I don't normally have this hat, but people can keep the things, and do, even in the Crystarium itself, once the fear faded. Not to say they're easy to keep. I mentioned how darn finicky the things are, but if you got a stubborn mind and gil to spare, you're welcome to try. Just, don't be surprised if they start turning odd colors. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I found this hat online and I was like, I must have it. I think the full text is like, women fear me, fish fear me, like men cower, like I am alone on this barren earth, or like something like that. The current fish is called a sin spitter. Called a sin spitter. I fear trying to zoom in because I think I'll mess up the angle. And I don't want to touch anything. There. I'm just doing that so I don't like get logged out for not moving after a while. probably my controller did the thing where it's like, I'm gonna die soon. Yeah. Moving my controller, moving that should keep me from logging out, right? I don't have to physically move, I don't think. Right, we might be moving on to the next fish soon. On average, in the previous nature art parties, they've had about 8 critters. So I don't know if this one's the same. But it's supposed to last until about 11, and since we got a later start, it'll probably be closer to 11:30. So I apologize if I have to scoot to take a break or stand up or something. Make sure you stretch those hands. Drink some water, hydration. Oh, okay, that's good. I live in fear of the days when you, like, if you didn't move for 30 minutes, it was just done. I kicked out. Like, now? But yeah, hopefully if we have some time at the end, I'll try and look at the hashtag nature art party. And we can see all the lovely doodles. Oh, I see. Interesting. Oh, hello, sir. Oh, I guess because someone left? Oh no, unfortunate man. Very large in front of whoever's. I feel bad for the person behind him. But I understand that was the only seat. Alright, something tells me there are no questions left, so it should be time for the next fish. But I like this one. I think the Akamaton is still my favorite of the ones so far. Because again, the theme of this particular nature art party is Northern fishies. So it's all Shadowbringers. Basically, Ardbert's been going through like all the different Shadowbringer areas, and I think because they're gonna be doing more. Teakbird is the one that's the brainchild behind all these nature art parties, and they're really cool. So if you like this one, how it typically works is they go around and they will pull different mobs of particular critters, and you get to watch them in action, and you can sketch and draw and ask questions like in the field in those areas. But this one is a special one for Fish Fest, and it's a really cute way to do it. So they're just, I think they are just at Teakbird, Teek bird on Twitter. I'm fairly sure. Oh, that's me! I was just checking. Ah, so cute! So who's Coffee Cleric? Or is that Verenum? Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just checking Twitter. so cute. I love it. Thank you. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having fun. Uh-oh. Artbird, wake up. Like I said, anyone in chat have questions for Artbird? Because I can put them in the chat. In the game. I don't know if I have any questions about them. Oh, wait, I do. If I knew how to spell. I spelled morn very wrong, but perhaps I am French. So I asked, you mentioned that they mourn. What are some of the behaviors that have been recorded? Hey, shit! I don't know how to spell it! Why do you think my name is Fox? It's not Faux. It's pronounced Fox. I am dyslexic. Therefore, everyone gets my name wrong because I got my name wrong when I first wrote it. Sender is how it's Fox Sender. If you're curious, that's how my name is pronounced. It's not Faux Schneider, though a lot of people like to say it is, but Fox Sender is how I pronounce my name. But, hush, I didn't say I could spell. I'm a scientist, not a spell assist. That's okay, Bay is beautiful. And still, I would consider Akhenaton Bay. Well, they did. So they started, what did they do? Oh, you're saying for the fish. Oh, true, yeah. Maybe they are going to do one per zone. That would be smart. I thought you were saying as far as nature art parties go, because they've actually done like all the areas in the nature art party. Ilmag was the most recent one, and that one was really fun. We got to see Seto. He was a good boy. Oh, hello. How's it going? That is me. How are you? Madam, would you mind sitting down? Hello, madam. Can you sit down for me? Controller. I can't go any further. Oh. Talking about mourning. Lethargy typically. They stop eating, stop moving much, won't leave the rocks, where they'll hide until their fins start to get weak, or nibbled by predators at worst. Not too far from grief in person, really. Oh, they do have one funny trick. If they recover, if they meet another fish to be their mate, they'll just change to be whatever fits the pair's needs. Ah, interesting. Ma'am. Oh, okay. It's just hard to see, I guess. Here, I'll put it back up so we can see the fish more. So that was the answer, is if they find new love, then they'll change. If it gets to be annoying, let me know. Alright, hard to say goodbye to a charming little fellow like this, but there's more to see. Let's move on. Let's see, because if they do... Okay, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. Okay, yeah, typically they'll do 8. So if they do all the zones like you suggested, that's probably sticking to the 8 as per normal. Goodbye, sweet friends. Alright, roulette. What fishy do you think we'll get? Bye, beautiful trans fish. Oh. Sad trans icon. I was like, yeah. These fish said trans rights. Bye, sad, wet trans fish. Ooh, this guy. Oh, with the cute little beta, too. Oh my goodness. I love the he's like a butterfly. Are we in El Meg? Where are we? They're so cute. I love the butterfly fish. Sorry, I was looking very deeply at the fish, like the two-toned fish. It looks like ham. You know, like cartoon ham? When ham is drawn. Hi, yes, how are you? It looks like cartoon ham, you know? Like when you see ham drawn in a cartoon, it looks like the top half and like even the pattern in the middle looks like ham when it's cut. That's all I can think about. The model of this fish is charming, but it can't quite capture the majesty of the real thing. For reference, I highly recommend looking up barrel eye online. Be warned, they're pretty uniquely freaky. Barrel eyes are so cool. So this is one based on, it's like one for one, more or less, that fish. They're so cool. So it is very freaky, but basically their eyes are like, how to describe it? If you take a Pokeball and you cut it in half and you put it on top of their heads, like right beside each other, their eyes are made to see both above and below water, so that it basically negates the refraction of light so that they can hunt above water to catch like flies and bugs and stuff. They're really cool. You'll have to forgive me. I must feel I should be warned before this bizarre fellow. At least this one's friend is charming enough, but those big round eyes, this lavender monstrosity is a ghoulfish, a name a bit more apt than the sin spitter, I'd say. And the round fellow swimming about him is a blue mountain bubble. Don't let the ghoulfish trick you. The odd spouts on its face are nostrils. The eyes are the giant green orbs. I know, I feel that. Fish. I like the bubble. I used to have a bubble fish. His name was Bubba? I think I just called him Bubba. Meg, okay. Ah, spearfishing. It's nice that they made it more interactive, but I just remember old spearfishing just gigging randomly. They're not well known these days. The ghoulfish especially is a reclusive brute, and both are exclusive to Longmere Lake in Ilmeg. It's hardly a welcoming place, pretty as it is. Even if the pixies let you in, the Fauxy hold dominion over the lake. And if there's some sort of Fauxy code out there, half the blasted thing's dedicated to when it's morally okay to drown strangers. Not a good practice. Okay. Wasn't always that way. Well, the Fauxy are an unchanging nightmare. but they were at least an avoidable one before Vorbert flooded. There wasn't a soul in the city that didn't know about ghoulfish, be it from market stalls or personal experience. Not hard to imagine why, looking at the things. Takes seeing those eerie, transparent heads once to never stop thinking about them. It's true. Yeah, it's hard to see from, like, this angle. See, nature never looks any which way for no reason. Take the most bizarre, horrifying thing you've ever seen, and there's a function to it, always is. And for these horrid fellows, the function is that a transparent skull lets them point those giant green eyes straight up at the sky to peer right through their own head. See, that's what I was saying. They're really cool. I think, are they actually called ghoulfish? No. What is the real fish? Oh, barrel eye. Oh, okay, that's the one that they said before. I thought for some reason that was the name of the fish before they said it. Yeah. Dual barrel fish. You'll have to admire the creativity. Ghoulfish are ambush predators. I should have mentioned that they're carnivorous, brutally so. They sink to the bottom of the lake and blend themselves in an arc, then bury themselves in silt, and just the top of their head uncovered. Then they'll turn their eyes skyward and wait for something to swim overhead. Yeah, that's what they do. But it's real cool. Yeah, this is just basically one for one a fish. Nature is cool. I'm trying to think. I mean, to be fair, it also reminds me a lot of a flounder. Because flounders do something very similar where they'll bury themselves in the sand, but because of how their body is shaped, again, both their eyes are on the top of their head so that they can see above them. But there's a lot of other animals that have adaptations like that, but just not to that extreme. These bulky beasts might not look fast, but the bend of their bodies means they can straighten out and take off at near blinding speed. The only mercy is they've got tiny little mouths full of more teeth than you can count, but too small to bite off more than toes on your average sort. Not my toes! Note to self, wear water shoes in Ilmeg. Because that, again, that's what happens with like rays or flounders in general, is when you step in the sand, you might step on it. I want to know about the mountain bubbles. Less merciful that they can grow some 3 yalms in length. What is these 3 yalm fish? Don't let this fellow follow you. Oh, don't let this fellow fool you. It's about half the size of a proper adult. I don't know if I can rightly put into words the horror of diving into that lake and seeing those eyes staring up out of the gloom. Take seeing it once to never trust a lake floor again. I've never trusted a lake floor. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and then I realized that I am very afraid of the ocean, and so being a marine biologist would not be a good idea. Thus, I turned to zoology, so I can just learn about all the animals. But yeah, I never would go swimming in lakes or, you know, rivers that I'm used to. I don't chase waterfalls either. Shouldn't come as any surprise then that the Fauxy absolutely adore the things. They didn't always have green eyes, but with the flood came skies more brilliant than ever before, and the ghoulfish stared up at it without cease. They can't blink. The everlasting light has blinded them, so the Fauxy stepped in and protected the fish they so love. Oh, did they, like, paint their eyes? What did they do? Did they give them sunglasses? I'm just imagining them, like, picking up the fish and painting them. Ardbert always has amazing lore to give. Shout out to their creativity and doing the research. Now, I can't say for sure which of them did it and why. Seems to me the green eyes filter out the light more effectively. As for who did it, we know one Fauxy who's particularly green and full of himself. Wouldn't be unusual for an Ecton to mark their favored with the color of their skin. Green does filter light more. Like sunglasses. If anyone has questions, go ahead and start thinking about them. And I can put them into chat. I've got another guess. Fauxy are just fairies, no different from the pixies. Aye, they're devilish things, but fairies are sensitive, emotional sorts. The blue mountain bubbles, the little fish I've been ignoring, they're the same sort really, or so the legends go. A fish the pixies spun from butterflies to fill the drowned city they loved with life again. I thought it was butterflies. Sounds like it looks like butterflies. That's cool that they were just like, they took a butterfly and then they just stretched it out. You are a fish now. Their colors are so pretty. They remind me of a morpho butterfly, in a way. Sounds funny to say for a beast like the ghoulfish, but you can see it in them too. Glassy heads, lavender flesh, scales the color of burnished kelp. Oh. Grunge-licht, the castle in Volbert, means verdant light. For the way the windows lit the world in green. Looking up on it from the depths after its fall, it's not hard to imagine the Fauxy shaping their favorites in its image. Green eyes like the sun through stained glass. That was very bad German. I apologize. Ah, well, enough of my waxing on. Who's to say why Fauxy do anything at all, and the city's long gone? Any questions? I'll see what other people have to say. Raise his hand. Why does it look like ham? Hi, thank you for following. Do the fish live, two fish live together peacefully, or does the bubble get hunted? That is a good question. I think because mouth small, it would not hunt something so large. I have a feeling that the ghoulfish eats like insects and like small crustaceans and stuff based on small mouths. He suffered from small mouth syndrome. Currently, no cure is known for small mouth syndrome. A lot of times in aquariums, you know, like the aquarium I work at, they feed the sharks well enough that they don't chase the other fish to try and eat them. Sometimes if they're well fed, they don't care. They whatever's efficient for them. I was gonna, you know, I was going to do that, but I felt it was a little insensitive, but I'm glad that someone else did. And with your pledge of just $2 a month, we can work towards finding a cure for small mouth syndrome. Can you eat either of them? Oh, this is the same person that had the... What'd it feel like if I touched his head? The darn things looks like it'll pop if you breathed on it wrong, and I'd wager a guess that they're bursting left and right if they're still kicking. I don't even know what accent that was, I'm sorry. If you or any of your loved ones suffer from small mouth, please call. You could be a part of a study. That's my commercial background coming through. That's the same thing. Okay. Nothing new. I still want to ask why it looks like ham. Huh, sharp eye. Now they're absolutely not friends. The bubbles are typically prey. Not that they'll know what a ghoulfish even looks like. Keeps them calm when they share a tank. That ignorance and the sand here isn't half deep enough for ghoulfish to bury themselves, so the brutes can't even start to think about hunting. Interesting. That's interesting, because it's like right there. So you'd think they'd see it regardless. But that's cute. That's their emotional support fish. I'm sorry, this is my emotional support fish. They're just friends. And they were tank mates. Oh man. What's their names? We gotta name them. And they were tank mates. What's the small one's name? The small one? Okay, we're gonna make this ship. The small one is the one that's like really anal and like OCD about everything, and the ghoulfish is just kind of chill and goes with the flow. But if anyone ever makes fun of the mountain fish, he could like kick their butts. Right, exactly. And like he loves and appreciates ghoulfish, but he also knows that it's forbidden. He was raised in a very proper mountain fish family. He can't be seen with a ghoulfish. And the ghoulfish thinks he's ugly, but the mountain fish loves him anyway. I've been streaming for 10 hours. Is it obvious? I'm starting to break down. It's fine. Fish. You can eat a my For all the horror of their appearance, goldfish are more popular ones to eat. Huge, which helps. And they've got this beautiful lavender flesh. Turns a bit of an unpleasant gray cooked, but they're popular raw. Tastes a little muddy, but it's the look that counts. Kept them popular among the elite just for showing off. Ah yes, look at this fancy purple meat. Only I can afford this. Imagine like goldfish nigiri. Pretty bed of rice and then a purple slab. I don't know if I would want to eat it. Very colorful sushi. You could have like goldfish nigiri and then salmon roe with like the orange color, tamago. You could have like all kind, like very rainbow plate. Nigiri. Copyright. Nods. Sorry, I was thinking of asking, are they boyfriends? That's okay. That can be our little chat headcanon. You had to be there. Please give your cat some pets. Oh, that's why they nodded. Everyone pet the cat. So many pets. The heads are hard, if you can imagine. See, they've still got bones and scales. They could tap on the things like glass, though I wouldn't recommend it if you like having 10 fingers. Seeing things over their heads can make them snappy. Got it, I'll be doing that then. Knock, knock, knock. I wonder... I don't wanna... Well... I wonder if their lenses have been used as lenses. Like, if they're used for glass, or like if things can be crafted from the eye orbs. I don't know how else to say it. I wonder. Can you shatter them? Interesting. Someone blinked. Hydration check. How's everybody doing? Hopefully good. I have my hydration. Stretch those fingies if you're drawing. I gotta stretch my legs. I'll be right back. I'm gonna become very small for a second. I'll just stare blankly into the void. That works too. Hello, I'm back. Can you shatter them? No, not like glass. Listen, the glass comparison wasn't literal. Bones and scales are still flexible, and if you break them open, you'll just get a lot of clear blood and other unfortunate liquids. Why do you... No, never mind. You do whatever you want. Ardbird has given up. Poor Ardbird. Unfortunate liquids. Which reminds me, if you would like to know about more unfortunate liquids, so how insects work, for the most part, is that they don't necessarily have a lot of internal organs. They mostly just have this kind of like liquid, blood, fluid, digestive juice thing that's called hemolymph. It's very weird. Yes, right. Body goo. That's why when you squish them, it's just... It's called hemolymph. That's the most unfortunate liquid I can think of. Oh, you lot know the drill by now. Take mercy on the poor staff, will you? The next giveaway is for a combo pack! Highest roll wins them both. Go, go, go! I'm good. I don't want these guys. If you are in the venue, roll, roll, roll. Ooh, 884. That's a big number. 886. So far, 886 is our winner. Falafel so far is our winner. Still winning. Wonder what's gonna be next. Okay, so we went to Ilmeg. We still have Yulmore, right? Tempest. Where else is next? Ooh, 971! Zoe coming in. A big number. Oh, Radtika. Unfortunately, Ronka no go in fish tank. But Ronka, great. I love the serpent. He is a good and righteous god. Being. Thing. Serpent. He's green. Looks like Zoe is our winner. Yeah, I don't remember either. Because typically it's going to be ones that have some kind of like other earthly counterpart. Or that the Encyclopedia Eorzea has information about. But I always love, because Artbird, Teakbird, is the one that writes these scripts, and it's always really cool to be able to see, again, like what's the inspiration behind it, and then what's creative, and then how they answer in character is really fun. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum. Yeah, I think 971 gets it. Do we think there's gonna be 2 fish next time, or do we think it's gonna be 1 fish? I think it's gonna be 1 big boy. We haven't had like a big boy in a while. Woohoo! They mentioned something about a mount though, so I'm wondering if there's gonna be some kind of mount equivalent. I'm trying to think what's a similar mount that could also go in a tank. Whale! I don't think the whale's gonna fit in the tank. Yeah, you know, like I said, I think a lot of it comes just from maybe doing some of the levy quests, or little things here and there. And then, you know, Teakbird making up and or creatively expounding upon the ideas. And, you know, comparing it with similar cultures or similar fish. Best friend fish, maybe more. And they were tank mates. See, they get it. Nyantia, I see you. I see you, and I appreciate you. They get it. I'm gonna say it. I said it. I cannot take it back. Oh my god, they were tank mates. Yes. Good, yes. I'm so glad. So many people, yes, I have been validated. Oh, did they ever make things official? Gay pride fish for my gay pride room. Well, this has been a great stream. We had a trans fish before this one. Now we got some gay fish. The whole spectrum. As an asexual, I appreciate that. What if we shared a tank and our friends fresh, but we were both fish? Oh yeah, that was an asexual fish. That's why I like them so much. I'm just an aquamatan. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oops, I derailed the chat. I'm sorry, Lupus. I'm sorry, Teeth Bird. I didn't mean to derail the chat. Ardbird, I apologize. I had to say it. I'm sorry, Ardbird. It had to be done. They started it. Oh my god, they were tank mates. Alright, what's our next speech? I hope, please, someone draw them kissing. Please. Thank you. It's my one contribution to this stream. Make the fish kiss. Ooh, a big boy! I love this guy. of him. Oh, is this lancetfish? Is this the lancetfish? I see much fear in the chat. Oh my god, he's like... Yeah, I see a lot of fear in the chat from the fishers. Everyone doing the face. Is this lancet? Is he an ocean fish? Go to jail. The audience has a mixed reaction. Many of them are positive, but several of them are not. He goes, Beloathed. Long. Again, some mixed responses. He's just a funky little guy. I don't go for big fish, so I don't know him. It all comes back to Lancet jail. PX2 graphics fish. Oh really? That's cute. Oh, these guys. Alright, this can be next. These funny-faced fellows are lancetfish and they're devils. The worst. I'm sure, I've heard stories. Charming as it is, this model is a little misleading for the actual creature. I encourage you all to look up lancetfish to see the real thing too. Please look up lancetfish. I too will look them up. I did not know that they were based on a real critter. Let's see. Lancetfish. Oh boy. Also not extinct. Deep sea cannibal fish. It's so weird, but so cool. I'm seeing a lot of weird colored ones. It's so long, oh my gosh. Spooky, spooky. Suppose it wouldn't be right to talk about fish without bringing them up. They're a bit of an infamous staple of the Tempest, these brutes, where they make their slithery homes in the Caliban Gorge. This massive, terrible trench in the bottom of the ocean floor. What does it taste like? If you would like, I will ask that at the end. It probably tastes like defeat. Tastes like disappointment. It does definitely look like it was drawn by a 5-year-old. 5-year-old just said triangles. It's just all triangles. That's the only shape I know how to draw. Frankly, I'd imagine it's the only place in the ocean well suited to fit the beasts. These ones are just babies. Fish one out of the gorge and you're likely to find the things at 14 to 15 yalms. Oh my gosh! All teeth and flashing sheen and razor-backed fins. Got a stomach about the size of the gorge itself too, and a penchant for eating anything that comes near their maw. This, again, is a fish that is just straight out of real life. And yeah, the lancetfish stomach, very long. It's like the length of the fish. But it smiles! Look at that big smile! But, yalms are yards. And yards are not meters. I was like, that's double. No, that's not. How many foot's in a yard? 3, 4, 3? I don't math. I'm not a mathologist. just... How many yards in a foot? I thought it was like 4. Or how many feet in a yard? How many feet in a yard? 3-ish. They don't much care what that food is. They've got a bad reputation in the deep. Ravenous things that'll bloat themselves to immobility by eating until they can't. They're opportunity feeders, see? Food's hard enough to come by in the pitch black of the gorge. When they find food, they don't waste it. I think these are so... spoiler... caution warning. Somewhat graphic. Whale carcasses when they float down to the bottom. Fish like these and other ones will just devour the carcasses. And sometimes there are some species of fish that don't really have functioning eyes because they don't need it because the light doesn't reach down that far. So sometimes you'll see them like in the carcasses. But yeah, opportunistic. When they find food, they eat it. So I'm assuming these are caught in the tempest, right? I would assume. Sounds odd enough, but it makes for an eerily accurate way of judging the sort of life milling about in the depths, as land-bound sorts can't see otherwise. Fish up a lancet fish and pull a beached one out of the froth of the waves, and you can pull all manner of perfectly preserved critters out of their stomachs. Other lancet fish not least among them. There's no purpose for brotherhood down there. Food is food. Fish are friends, but also food. He's a cutie. I like him. I cannot draw because that would mean that I would have to go away from my current setup, but please enjoy drawing him for me. Like I said, if I have time and brain power at the end of this, then we'll look through the tag and see if we can find some cute drawings. Having said all that, it might surprise you to know that things aren't fast, not for a real chase. The slim shape is packed with muscles that are half jelly, half water. Ooh! Keeps them flexible. Great for keeping balanced without the swim bladder fish who care to ever see the sky have, but they're darn near useless for sustained strength. They're made of jelly. Now I want to see a gummy lancet fish. Do those exist? Did someone make a gummy mold of a lancet fish? They should. No, it has not been created yet. Ah, but that's where their shape comes in. Long, thin bodies like that are as close as a fish can get to invisible in the dark, and cut through the water like a blade. All it takes is one good lash of their tail, and they can lunge in any which direction they please. And with a mean-looking mouthful of teeth that curve back, there's not much chance that the bite will get away. Unfortunate. Oh. Ooh, interesting. Just makes it worse that they're the color they are. They're handsome enough put up in the light, aye, that fetching blue and yellow, like sunlight in the water. But well, I mentioned the way nature works. It's all just good fortune. What we find pretty for the fish, it's called countershading. Yay! We'll talk about countershading. Means the prey look down at their dark backs, they see for more dark. The prey looking up see pale bellies, like the light from above. Yes, countershading is great. Countershading is used a lot by aquatic animals, especially fish, sharks, penguins, whales, you know, that's why most aquatic critters have that kind of darker shading on the top and then lighter on the bottom, because if you are a predator that's looking up, you just see white and it looks like where the sun is coming from, the light at the top. And then if you are a bird that's looking for fish down below, all you're going to see is dark coloration, and it's going to blend in with the color of the water. So counter shading's very cool, used by many animals. Speaking of which, the gorge they live in Caliban Gorge, is named after the Ondo god, this great fish spirit Caliban, a huge drifting deity said to breathe life into its own shed scales. Those ones take the form of these great blue coelacanth. As for the lancet fish, they don't have scales. None to spare, I'd guess. They're all hard skin and jaws. But yeah, that's counter shading. But yeah, penguins, lots of whales, fish, sharks. It's very common. All the fish were like, hey, you know, Bob, you got that paint job last week. It worked really well. I think I'm gonna copy it. But it's not hard to imagine, is it? This lurking shadow of a god, blessing each tooth that falls from its maw with speed and shine and the will to consume. A holdout from before the oceans got smaller, sunk so deep in the hidden underbelly of the world that few will ever know their names. Oh, I see. That makes sense. I don't know if I ever get to that far into fishing. Like I said, I caught my first big fish for today, though. Well, aside from the Ondo, much like their source... Oh. Shahagin? They've got an eye into the side of the world that most of us will go our lives without knowing outside the end of a line. Our glimpses into forms of life beyond what anyone would hope to dream. But we'll talk about them soon. We're talking about lancet fish. Any questions? Oh, you were going to ask how they taste. I will see if someone asks it first, because I have a feeling someone's going to ask it. But if they don't ask it, then I will ask it for you. Not that I want to, but I feel compelled to ask. Can you eat it? See, I told you. I was like, I have a feeling someone's going to ask. Because they always do. Which one of these guys hurt you? Thank you, Lawrence. Lauren's asking the important questions always. They do seem familiar. I don't know if they're the same person that comes to all the nature art parties. Are they smooth? I feel like they're more gonna be like sharks. Like their skin's just gonna be... So, okay, cool shark fact. Shark's skin is modified teeth, and it's really cool. I think it's something like dentricles or something like that, but basically the reason why if you rub a shark one way and you rub it the other way, one side will be smooth, but if you rub against it the back way, it's because their skin are like have backwards facing grooves that are like teeth. Yeah, exactly. And so when you rub it against it the other way, you're basically just teeth, rows and rows of them just going backwards. And it obviously helps protect them against other sharks and predators and things, but yeah. Let me double check that that's actually what they're called. Denticles? Denticles, not dentricles. No dentures here. Denticles. I was close. Well, so scales are made out of modified keratin. And when it comes to sharks, they don't actually have bones, they have cartilage. So I wouldn't say that it's harder because it is just skin, like it's not scales. I think it's mostly just the texture of it. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily harder than scales. It's probably a little more durable, if that makes sense. Just because depending on the type of scale, scales flake pretty easy because they're just keratin, like your fingernails. There's the question. Aye, you can, but they're rotten to eat. Soft like jelly and all water. Well, aside from the built-up poisons that'll slowly kill you from the inside. But you know, but I know you lot well enough by now, and I know you'll try. Yeah, every time someone has to ask. So the question is, again, you can eat anything once. Where you live? I'm already shoving half the thing halfway down her throat. You know, if Dungeon Meshi has taught me anything, you can eat probably anything. You just have to cook it the right way. I've been really enjoying Dungeon Meshi. If you have not watched it yet, it's very funny. Also known as dinner and no. What's the dining and dungeon? I can't remember what the English name is. Yeah, Dungeon Meshi is the Japanese. I don't remember. Delicious, that's right. Delicious in dungeon. That's how he ends it. It's been very cute though. We love Sanji. Sanji's great. That's a good one. Do fishers in Nordavent have more purpose for these fellows aside from the study of the trench, like you mentioned? None of these devils hurt me. They're just jerks, and anyone who's done any sort of fishing knows they're a pain. Doesn't mean they're a bad sort of beast, mind you. I've got respect for a beast who doesn't care to be helpful. The pain. Every fisher in the audience, boo! I think they're cute. Let them cook. He just said it would be great to cook. No, he said it would be great to eat. I bet if you cook them, they probably would be good. I never said I wouldn't at least try it. Oh, I've gotten so many notifications. I will check them, I promise. Question from Offsite via Link Pearl. Do the Ondo ever hunt the lancet fish, and what do they use it for? That goes hand in hand with the previous question that was asked. They could definitely use them as, I don't want to say darts, but that's what I'm imagining. Imagining them like taking the baby ones and just chuck them at a dartboard. Stick on the other side. Oh, I'm glad. That's always my hope. You know, because, you know, I wasn't sure how Lupus was gonna run this. Because I know they don't normally talk because this is Ardbert giving the presentation. So I double checked with them to make sure that it would be okay if I streamed, because that's normally what I do. Like I've been to the past 4 art parties, and I've just kind of dramatically read, you know, what's being said to the best of my ability and streamed for those that can't watch. But I always try and make it at least like somewhat entertaining, and hopefully my little clips are fun little like, here's the animal fact. But I can understand, you know, because it's nice too, because if you're drawing, you know, you're not necessarily always looking at the chat. So it's also helpful to just have someone like audibly talking about what's going on and reading it, so you don't necessarily have to look away from what you're working on. Let's call this one, oh, thank you, 501 plus. Let's call this one a hypothetical, yeah? So let's say a land-walking person, not naming names, wanted to pick a fight with one of these nasty buggers. How'd they go about winning? I like how we have like the side that's like, can we eat it? And the other side says, can we fight it? Yeah, exactly, that's the whole point. They're smooth, shiny and slick, which, well, that feeds into the rest of the question. So I'll handle the whole thing. The skin's the most useful part of the things. There's a ton of the stuff, and how immense these things can grow. The 15 yalms, I think is what they said. It's tough, rugged stuff. Tanned well, it has a good enough choice for textiles, produced a nice enough color. You could make lancet boots. It is a very pretty blue. Someone's like, oh yeah, leatherworking. Tanned fish hide is interesting. It's an interesting concept. Theondo got more of the stuff than, Vrandic fishers? Vrandic fishers, mind you? Especially these days with large vessels more or less unheard of in whatever oceans are left. He's traded now and then for fruits from Colisia's shores. Fruits for fish. Again, for those who might not know, this originally was planned to go till about 11 o'clock, but we got a little bit of a later start when they were setting up the additional venue for reading and like basically experiencing it in a second area because this one got too popular. But that's great. So they'll probably be going a little bit later. But I will do my best to stay the entire time. And then if I am still alive, we will look through some of the tag. So make sure you tag your art, hashtag Nature Art Party, hashtag FishFest. I won't be doing any art this time because I'm very far away from I'm very far away from my computer, and my PS5 is over here and my computer is over there. So I can't draw. But you guys draw for me. Yeah, that's what I typically do too. I just kind of draw my favorites. Ilmag had a lot of good ones. It was really fun. A lot of people also did, because you don't necessarily, what's fun about the nature art parties is you don't necessarily have to draw the critters. A lot of people will draw environmental and landscape pictures, and it's really pretty just to see, you know, because it's a nature art party. Nature's not just animals, it's also the scenery that's around it. So, it's really cool. And we can't forget Weto Seto. So Ilmeg was the last one that we went to, and Seto was the last area. And someone had asked about like what they look like when they get wet, because they're just covered in fur and feathers. And so I drew Set, but like drenched. I don't know who you are, but you've got an attitude, don't you? Oh, thank you for following. This is obviously answering the person that was asking to fight the fish. Would you want to fight a fish with a mouth the size of half of you, in the dark, so deep you can't even see your nose? The pressure'd squish you flat first. Ah, but you're one of these sort, so you'd probably win. Somehow. My gills on Reese's. Thank you, gentleman android. Screwlum, is that you? Oh yeah, of course. Oh, I'm glad. Big thank you to Fruity and Teak for reaching out and allowing me to. I'm like basically up in the VIP quote unquote like streamer little high rise, so I could get a good view. And they were kind enough to let me come early. It's been a good, fun day. Everyone did great, and Fruity needs to take a nap after this, because he's been up for probably going on 18 hours. Because this technically started yesterday evening in like Oceania EU, and into today, midnight time. Alright, I can't imagine a situation where a single soul would want to keep one of these beasts, let alone would have the capability to feed the darn things. But be merciful to the staff. They've got to feed 4 of them. Care to take this one away? Okay, anyone want the lancet fish? Roll now. I kind of do. He cute. Oh, 753. I already didn't get it because there's an 888. No fish for me. He's so cute though. I love his smile. He's very misleading. So far I think 888 has the lead. Oh, 87. I know, 96. Pat. That's like a you tried sticker. Right. I think 888 has it. Congratulations. I never get lucky with rolls like that. That's why I don't gamble. Oh, also, thank you. We finally hit 450 followers on Twitch. Up to 459. Thank you, everybody. Aside from Final Fantasy... Oh, lowest roll wins? Oh, well, I didn't win either. Well, then 96 won. But yeah, I am a variety streamer that does Final Fantasy 14 things. I voice act a lot of video games that don't have voices, like Pokemon and Ace Attorney, and play those. I play Genshin and Star Rail and all the Honkai things. And what else do I do? I will be week after next, I will be starting a play of Rebirth, so I'm excited about that. So if you want to watch me utterly fail at that battle system, because good lord, there's so many things happening. It's a great combat system, but there's just so much going on. You can watch me in real time. Yay, congratulations, Rosa. Yay, flowers. Yay, flowers. That heart emote came out just in time. It's really cute. I hope everybody at the end does heart emote for Ardbert. Yeah, and as I said, they're just letting people know that they're gonna go over. Hydrating. Oh god, we hit cap immediately. We knew this was gonna happen though. That's why I came at like 7 o'clock and just sat. It's like, I'm not moving. Yeah, no worries. Have a good time. Thank you for all your doodles. I'll be sure to check them later. And this VOD will be up separately. I've been streaming for 11 hours now. It's like all the different activities. So I'm going to be separating out this part specifically so that it's its own VOD. And it should be up tomorrow. So if you missed it, you can either watch it here or it'll be on my YouTube channel, my VOD YouTube channel, which is Fauxy Creations. That's the YouTube. Yeah, have a good night. Yay! Thank you for following. Yay! People being cute. Thank you, 460 followers. Look at that. Amazing. All the credit to Fruity and the gang, everybody in all 3 of the different aquariums. Teak Bird for setting this up. Oh, we're getting emotional. It's not even over yet, and we're getting emotional. Yeah, no worries. That's why I'm here. I'll be the sub for you. Oh man, everybody's saying their goodbyes and we're not done yet. The best fishing spot is the friends we made along the way. Look, a shark! He looks like the spectral shark, but he's not, because he's not shiny. Oh my goodness, thank you! Thank you everybody for following. Ooh, another big boy. What kind of shark? There's that counter shading. Oh my goodness, thank you. Everyone's so kind. Major General, but large. The modern Major General. Well, now, I mentioned we'd be back in the Ondo, didn't I? This hulking fellow is an Ondo Bane. I'm sure you all imagine well enough how it came across that name. And if we're used to me saying by now that the fish on display are babies, you can rest well knowing these ones are not likely only growing, or will likely only grow to be 3 or 4 times this size. Nice. All big fish. Big. Bag. Oh, bull shark. Okay. That's what I thought. Bull sharks are great. They're super cool. But yeah, you can see that counter shading that they mentioned before. What a name. What are other shark facts I know? Sharks have to swim or they will drown. That much I know. Because it has to do with how their bodies move and the water being pulled over their gills. So they can't not move or else they won't be able to breathe. What is there to say about these things? They're sharks. I suppose there's a whole lot to say about sharks when you get down to it. There's plenty enough that's common sense. Got more teeth than anything should, and an extra row behind that's just to make sure they don't run out. Jaws, strong enough to break through a crab's shell like it's paper. I wonder if they're gonna talk about the denticles. We learned about those. You can pet them anyway. They're smooth, but only one way. Don't pet them any way. Pet them the correct way. You go with the skin, not against. Or else they cut you, because they have skin teeth. This is called an Ondo Bane. O-N-D-O Bane. Bane. Neither of those are the star of the show for this beast. They've got hellish jaws, aye, but the strength of these fellows is their bulk. They're built like brutish battering rams, that was a lot of bees, and their entire body is muscle, with just enough cartilage to give them a solid structure to build off of. When they're hunting, their first weapon is their body, slamming it against their prey until they're too exhausted to swim away. That's why they're bull sharks. They ram ya. My favorite shark is a sandbar shark. Or what other shark? Oh gosh, I can't think. They're really cute and small. The black tips are not, but there's something that looks a lot like one. Yeah, some sharks do hunt like that, yeah. That's when the jaws come in, grabbing anything that breathes air and dragging it to the depths, letting it drown if the change in pressure doesn't get to them first. Then they'll grab on and shake their heads hard and hope the serrated teeth act like tiny knives to cut up their prey for them. Yeah, this is all just shark facts. Shark facts. Ooh ha ha. Yeah, just depends on the shark. But yeah, we talked about the goblin shark before and his funky little face. Well, there's some other interesting sharks. But to hunt, you need to find the prey at all. Sharks have something remarkable. Yeah, they have, it's called an ampullae of Lorenzini. I will talk about that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, sharks have something remarkable to do with that. They can't rightly comprehend it, but they've got another sense, like smell or sight. So these tiny little pores all over their snouts filled with clear jelly, and these pores are more sensitive to electricity than a cat's whiskers to sound. Yes, it's called ampullae of Lorenzini. And it's these, like Ardbird is saying, it's these little pores that are like all over their faces that can sense electromagnetic waves in the ocean. And it's really cool because they can track fish and other things for miles, like using that. And also they can smell a long ways with, do they have Jacobson's organs? I must fact check, but they smell the blood. They probably have Jacobson's organs. Oh, the Ondo have seen that sense in action enough to get a pretty good idea of just how strong it is. From how it's been explained to me, all of you living sorts give off just a bit of electricity. Moving makes more of it, so a fish swimming by a shark is practically calling out its name. But the Ondo have seen Ondo Bane flip in the water and snap up fish that were stock still. Do sharks have Jacob? Oh, they do have Jacobson's organ. Haha. So, a Jacobson's organ is basically, it's often called a vermonasal organ as well. So it's just a specialized organ that's in the roof of where their mouth is that allows them to be able to sense smells from a really long distance. Cats, a lot of big cats have it. Snakes have it. That's how snakes are able to flick their tongue out and smell the direction of where particles are coming from, is from that vermonasal scent organ. Their best guess is the sense is so strong they can feel a heartbeat from yalms away. Used to be, they used the sense to travel the length of the world, measuring the heartbeat of the world itself to find their way. Not so much now, but the Ondo have seen the things swim to the flood walls now and then, like they're looking they're looking something none of us can see. There are mini critters that use electromagnetic and like poles to be able to navigate and migrate. There's birds that can actually like see like poles. Enough beating around the bush. I've yet to explain their names. Ondo Bane don't actually prey on the Ondo, not on purpose. The Ondo are a bony, lean people and hardly rich in pure blubber and fat. A shark of this size is after a meal. No person is really. Sorry, my voice is getting tired. They're no man-eaters, but they share the same waters as the Ondo, and the Banes aren't prone to sharing. Sorry, my voice is getting tired. The territorial fights are so common, the Ondo have learned to measure themselves by it. Only those among them who've beaten the brutes in a fight can consider themselves a true warrior amongst their kin. And it's a tradition so old, none among us knows what those beasts were ever called before their relationship with the Ondo defined them. Cough drop to the rescue. Suppose the name makes it clear enough that the Ondo are rare to be the winners of these spats. It gets worse when you find the real hulking sharks. The ones defined by the clouds of blood they leave in their wake. Huge things, half again as big as the Banes, called Ondo, I'm assuming it, Ondo takers? Oh, ha 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 ha. You leave them alone, and you hope the heart in your chest doesn't get them curious enough to take a bite. It's funny because it kind of sounds like Undertaker. Still, all that said, all the blood and terror said and done, the flood devastated the Ondo Bane. Prey dried up, their migration routes were beaten by a rapidly growing empty. And what they did find to eat was so poisoned by the light that the sharks themselves started showing signs of secondhand staining. Oh, interesting. Now that would be scary. Swimming in the water and you just see a sand eater shark. It's like, eh. It's the Ondo that named them, and the Ondo that have done the most now to save them. With the great big bubble and the tempest, they haven't got much to fear from shark attacks now. But inadvertently or not, these big brutes define what strength and bravery is, so it's been the Ondo's turn, one by one, hauling the sharks caught in the blue bubble back to the ocean wall. And that's an interesting fact, because many sharks are actually considered endangered. I don't know if bull sharks are. Let me double check. They're vulnerable. Oh, okay. So, when it comes to determining the kind of conservation status of an animal, they look at population trends over time, and so they're considered vulnerable. So that means that they're not doing great. But they're not endangered yet. Near threatened. Okay, they're both not doing great. Come some 100 more years, and I wonder if we'll see them heralded like the Sin Spitters, a new name for an age where every life that still yearns to live is one to fight to preserve. Anyway, who's to say? A whole lot can change. Given 100 years of time. Any questions? You know what I'm gonna ask. Could Rhesus fight one, hypothetically? I love this. Like I said, there's two types of people. Can you eat it? Can you fight it? I mean, you can fight it just like how you can eat anything once, you can fight anything once. Will you win? Will you survive? Who knows? Maybe one of these baby ones, but if it was the big ones. Ooh, what was that? What did you try to say? That it wouldn't let you? Ahem, regarding the reproduction habits. Oh. Ahem, regarding the reproduction habits of this particular species, do they give live birth or do they lay eggs? Or do the eggs hatch inside the mother, leaving the firstborn to devour its siblings, driven by the natural instinct to be the first and only one to survive? Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, I wasn't even gonna ask this time, but you know, it wouldn't hurt. Do you have Borhaj in the first, maybe based off these beats? What Komine was saying is actually something that you can impress your friends when you go home. It's called being ovoviviparous. So, if you are a mammal, you give live birth, unless you're a platypus, and then you say, forget you, I'm gonna do what I want. But if you are a mammal and you give live birth, that's called being viviparous. If you are a egg-laying critter, then you are called oviparous. But many sharks and snakes, and one species of lizard, at least that I know, does both, because they lay the eggs inside. Well, like the eggs are there, but the eggs hatch inside. And so the babies are birthed out. So that's gonna be ovoviviparous. Scorpions do that too. But yeah, sharks do that. And many of, well, not all sharks, but some sharks do that. But many of the like shark egg sacs, quote unquote, that we find on the beaches are often like rays, which are related. You know, sharks and rays are, I forgot the family name, but they're both in the same like order. Oh, what's the order name? I gotta know. I used to know. Elasmobranch. Elasmobranch? Oh, here it is. Chondrichthyes. There it is. Chondrichthyes. When I took taxonomy, I had to memorize these things, but when I wasn't in class anymore, it just went whoop. They just chondrichthyes. Yes, you can eat them. Sharks aren't bad for eating, taste and texture-wise. Fry up well and taste mild. Problem is, the things are absolutely loaded with all sorts of toxin. Why is everything poisonous? They eat at the top of the food chain, see, and it means everything bad and the whole food chain is collected in the bodies of these beasts. Everything's just poisonous. Don't eat anything, apparently. Right. Note to self, cook long time. But sharks, you know, the old adage about sharks eating anything is pretty true. They're opportunistic hunters as well, so if they think that they can eat it, they will, even if they can't. Because, you know, people have found, like, license plates and all kinds of stuff in there. That being said, keep our oceans clean, protect the fishies. They are much older than us. Is Rhesus the one with the ears who wants to fight everything? I can't well tell anyone to do anything. I'd be a fool to say I haven't done stupider. But frankly, at this point, I think they'd win. He gave up again. Oh yes, the one with the big silver ears. Oh, the one in front? Is that Rhesus? I pity whoever has to sit behind him with those. This is so cute. And I feel really, like, I know I haven't been around for all the nature art parties, but it's just really great to see, you know, people being passionate about this and wanting to learn about it. And I just hope that this means that in future nature art parties, people will come and ask questions and have a good time and just kind of learn more about, like, the lore, and just appreciate the work that goes into it, and you know, the real life counterparts that come from it. I think that's why I originally supported and went to visit the aquarium, like, immediately when it opened. I saw it on Twitter going around, and I was just like, I want to tour, I want to do it, I want to stream, I want to tell other people this is really cool. You know, as someone that's worked in zoos and aquariums for 15 years, it's just really neat to see what people do and inspire them to learn from gaming. And I love that the devs have just supported this as well. You know, they recently went to the Oceania one, the venue, and really helped support them too. So it's just neat. All right, so these brutes give live birth, but they've been found in their eggs have been found in their bodies. So the pups hatch in their bodies and take shape in there. Yeah. And then a few pups pop out, ready to swim. Hard to say how many. Even the Ondo have barely ever seen it happen. So confirmed that they are ovoviviparous. Oh, nice. I have a feeling that the next one will probably be the last one. I can't say I know the blahage is. Is that something you eat? Gods, no, don't tell me. You lot worry me. You'd love it, Artbird. Is it like a mallow? Do they have any predators / competition besides the Ondo and the surface-dwelling folk? There, see, Velvet, you can eat anything once. True, fact.
I think my husband made that noise after eating curry that was too spicy for him. Bledge!
Oh, they're talking about the shark from IKEA, I think. Yeah, they just said they're big sharks. And they got really popular for some reason, and they sold out really quick. I wonder how they're going to answer, if they're going to answer in character, because they were asking where she got it. From the land of IKEA, just north of here. Oh, the Blahage store. I mean, that would make sense, so where you would get it. As far as the Ondo can tell, they're not social. Pretty isolated for the most part, and can be snappy if other sharks get too close. But they've been seen together before in packs, like oversized wolves, with a structure near the same. But that's hard to say. It's not like the sharks are talking, but it seems they're gentle sorts, around each other really. They're just creatures. Interesting. Pack of shark wolves. I know that some smaller species of shark are seen hunting with one another. But I don't know about great whites. They wouldn't necessarily have a need to, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, they do. Okay. Huh. I learned the thing. That's interesting. I guess that they were gonna take on some larger prey like a whale or something like that. Or sometimes what they'll do is they'll trap fish, basically ambush fish into a central area, and then they can just ambush them. Whales do something cool where they actually will make bubble nets. So they will make a wall, and the fish, they basically swim around the fish and make a wall, and then they just open their big mouths and gobble them all. But the fish get so disoriented that they don't know where to go. Ugh. Stretch time. I wonder who decided to draw this big fella. I already have a spectral shark, so I would not be rolling for him, but he is cute. The spectral one was like the first one that I ever caught while ocean fishing. He doesn't have a name, but he should. But he sits in my room. My room is like an amalgamation of all the free stuff that we get from playing the game. And then one tank with one spectral shark in it. They've got competition eye. They're huge beasts, but they're bigger. But there are bigger in the depths. Huge jellyfish are the biggest threat, if you can believe it. You don't see much of them. They don't get caught in the bubble, but they wash up now and then, wrap their tentacles around the sharks and stun them till they drown. Interesting. If you want a fun jellyfish to look up that's also equally terrifying, look up something called a man of war. They're fun, but also terrifying. Say, do you think the jellyfish are at a natural advantage, given they're all shocky and the sharks can detect that sort of stuff? Sensory overload almost? I think it's a different kind of shocky. Kind of? I mean, because the shocky that's made from jellyfish, I guess it's biological, so it would be something very similar, but I don't know. Because it comes from the body. I don't know. Because it's not really, I don't know, because not actually electricity? Question mark? Again, I don't know a lot about sea critters. How do jellyfish stings actually work? Room ongoing treatments. Yeah. Because they're basically just poisoning you with tiny little needles. So it's not necessarily the same kind of shock. It's gonna be midnight soon. Happy New Year! Happy Fish Fair! Bye, Iroh! Oh, there's a nice prime front row seating for whoever wants to get in. Oh, it's a funny thing. Most of the jellies barely move, barely are alive at all, really. And that shock is all toxin, terrible amounts of the stuff. So to shark, they're darn near invisible. That's what I thought. I was like, it's not actually electricity. It's like tiny little needles. They're just gonna right. Oh, oh. Oh. What? Where did it? Did you guys see that? He just disappeared. We didn't have him. Where did he go? I mean, I know I'm tired, but he just kind of disappeared. Where did he go? Okay, the sharks took him. It's fine. I'm curious to see like what's the most drawn thing. I would love to see more fan art of those two fish. I hope that people, I hope that more than just clay or coffee clay. Draw them. Oh, you did? Nice. I can't wait. Wake up tomorrow and just fish art all over my page. Ah, wonderful. That's all I could have asked for. I didn't put on this hat for nothing. All right. Uno más. One more fishy. How's everybody doing? I live on the East Coast, so it's almost midnight here. I'm getting a little tired. Who's going to PAX East? Get that nice bucket hat. That bucket hat's so cute. Oh my gosh. Have you been up all night? That's crazy. Fishers are dedicated. Yeah, it's okay though. I can rest tomorrow. Oh, naps are good. Are you over on the EU server? Right, exactly. I was gonna say, fishers do that all the time. Nothing new for them. Oh, okay, got it. Alright, that's enough of these brutes, then. We just about come to the end of all this. You know the rub by now. They're ravenous, dangerous beasts, but curious as a child. Oh, and they're no threat. Last door-in-door giveaway. 3! And a spur-of-the-moment extra gift. Lowest roll wins a free shark. Go, go, go. Get that shark. All those big numbers. Wow, they're so big. There's no... Oh, there's an 84. Okay. It's like there's not a single digit in there. Oh man, I haven't really gone into the foyer of big fish catching yet. Today's train was sort of my biggest, or my first window into that. I don't know if it'll be something I'll pursue. Oh, an 18! Wow, that guy's getting a shark. Give that guy a shark. But I do like ocean fishing. Ocean fishing I'm a fan of. So if there are big fish to get while ocean fishing, like I think Taniwa? Isn't the Taniwa one of them? Then that would be something I would go after. Hermes, you get a free shark. You get a shark, and you get a shark. Peppa P. Oh, I see. How do the rare ocean fish work? Is that one of the ones that you get when the heartbeat goes bum bum? I think that's called intuition. I don't know. I just know that it goes bum bum and it's like something's under the surface and I'm like, that's cool. I'm gonna keep fishing. Apparently you're supposed to like switch out to a different bait, I guess. I just know that I feel sad because it's like, the thing got away. I'm like, no! Wow, sugoi! Oh! Okay, interesting. He's dressed like Fat Daniel. Oh, okay. He's a cutie. Alright, I think we're on to our final fish. I wonder what it will be. And where it will be from. Because we already did the Tempest. Oh yeah, that is ironic that Hermes... It would be even more ironic if there was like a Hyppolides. Enjoy your blage. Take that, depression. Let Hermes be happy. Oh, there's this funny thing about fish. What you got to say, Artbert? So is this the last one then? Was this the last fish? I mentioned it before at the start of all this, the way they're practically invisible. It's still true, even in a place like this. Fish laid out for all to see. Life the sort that one could scarcely imagine ever existing. The sorts of things that seem too massive and strange to exist even looking at them now, displayed behind glass. Oh, appropriate music is appropriate. Invisible eye, but ever persistent. Latent as the light, as the wind. Civilization rises and falls about their homes. The first has forgotten whatever it was. Even the history of the one land left, the records of Nordvant itself, didn't escape unscathed. With what was lost, we don't know much about things, how things once were. Invisible eye, but ever present. Latent as the light. Oh, this is it. But we know old churches full of drapes woven from fish scales of light. We know fish like butterflies flitting between the doors of ruined homes long since sunk in a pixie's misguided attempt to fill a people-shaped hole. We know ancient knives made from vice-jaw teeth, no different than the ones the folks of Sullen make today. It's time for him to wax poetically. Share with us your wisdom, Artbird. This one's gonna be long. I can feel it. The tides change, the world shifts, history writes over itself, and here, in these invisible things, are the fingerprints of man. In Ondo, we refuse to let their opponents wither. In Ondo, who refuse to let their opponents wither. In the people of Crystarium, too proud of their finned neighbors to let a feeble sin-spitter die. There our history, aye, but not a finished one. A breathing world of life older than anything man has ever built, and a world we've yet to more than scratch the surface of understanding. One that's alive and all around us. Protect your oceans, protect the fishes. The fishes have seen it all. Suppose that's part of what this is all about. This place, these people, you lot coming out to see us. You sort what would stand against, you sort that would stand against a gale to see just a glimmer in the waves. Who'd see that there's something new to see and stop at nothing to find it. I'm far from the right person to speak on history, but for what my word's worth, it seems in good hands. Thank you, Harper. We got this. We're fishers. We can change the world. That's almost a wrap, but not quite. Going to head out of the yard for final parting words OOC, and of course the minion amount giveaway, so please don't go quite yet, and instead follow us out to the yard. We'll be meeting with the overflow crowd. Okay, I'm gonna let everybody leave first and then follow after, because everybody's gonna have to travel. Yay, clapping! Yay! Wonderful as always. Shall I get out of third person if I remember how? I remember! Where's my clap? There it is! Yay! Where's my cheer? Do I even have cheer? Nice. Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us. A huge thank you to our special guests coming here from the incredible nature art parties for this special Fish Fest event. Thank you, Artbert and Olazas. Yay. Which I think, yes. Yay. That one. Oh yeah, I don't know why I didn't remember them from the previous parties. We love fish! Proud of your arms for cheering for so long. Yeah, they cheered for like 4 hours straight. Those impressive arms. And I like that they turned the bar into like an actual, on behalf of the staff of Fish Fest, thank you for making this event more successful than we ever even dreamed. Thank you for your patience with our capacity issues and last minute overflow adjustments. Thank you for engaging questions and comments, and thank you for sharing your art with us. Yay! So many, oh, there's some Lalafels just hanging out on the stairs. Look at all the people. They did a good job. Clap, clap, clap. Because, you know, this is a very different version of the Nature Art Fest that typically happen. So it was nice to see it, you know, and the cool thing is, now that they have this format, it can be something that definitely can be done again, and it's just really cute. Spike Chill, thank you to our streamers for adjusting, helping more people appreciate it. Full script will be available after the event. Yay! It was a blah blast. Okay, we're not leaving entirely. Woohoo!